It's the season's unofficial fifth major where all the top players will competing. It's the Players' Championship this weekend, and we can win $50,000. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. That's right, the top golfers in the world are at this weekend's TPC Sawgrass at the Players' Championship, where they'll compete for a prize, but we have a chance to win $50,000 if we can correctly predict several head-to-head matchups, give them a winner and a win margin to take home that prize. That's how easy we can do it. If nobody can do it, they'll still give away a guaranteed $1,000 prize to a group of people that can accumulate the most points. As I said, it's the Players' Championship of the wonderful, beautiful TPC Sawgrass. This tournament in 2020 was canceled due to COVID-related issues, so we don't have any information to go off of 2020. So when I mentioned recent trends here at the golf course, obviously excludes 2020 for all golfers. And in doing so, I relied a little bit less on stats this week for my information because, when I make these, basketball videos for you guys or football during the season for you guys, you can look up recent trends for how teams are performing, on a 3-game basis. I can do 5, 7, even, 10-game basis, while also looking at the entire body of work. For the information I've found so far on the golf season, I'm only being able to look at season-long data, and that's really tough to do here on this 2021 golf season because part of the season took place in 2020. The golf season started in November of 2020. Then also, so therefore, you just got the length of the time, right? Like, you go through ebbs and flows in your golf game just like you go through, in a basketball game over the course of a season. You'll have dips and you'll have peaks in your performance. So I'm going to rely less on stats, at least on this week, see how we can do. While I looked at the stats to see how these guys generally are performing, I really didn't take stats too much, into consideration. I really focused on recent form at golf tournaments, and then also the course history here at the TPC Sawgrass is what I used to go off of. So with that being said, let's jump on into it and see if we can't win $50,000. All right, so the first matchup here is DJ versus Rory. Look, DJ skipped Arnold Invitational last weekend. It was tied for 54th at the WGC event just a couple weeks ago, and he was tied for 8th at the Genesis. Here at the TPC Sawgrass, he's got one top 10, which was a 5th place finish last year, or last time they competed here in 2019. For Rory McIlroy, got good form, tied for 10th last week at Arnold, tied for 6th at the WGC tournament. He's got one win here at TPC, which was in 2019. Otherwise, he's got 4 top 10s here. I'll go ahead and say Rory McIlroy. He's in better form leading up to this tournament, and then obviously he loves this golf course with 4 top 10s. Next one we got here is Morikawa versus Hovland. Look, for Morikawa, he skipped Arnold last week. He was first at the WGC event a couple weeks back. He's never played at Sawgrass here. For Hovland, his last 3 weeks are tied for 49, tied for 2nd, and tied for 5th. So perhaps maybe he's cooling off a little bit because the most recent was that tied for 49th event. He's got a bad weekend at Arnold. Really, it was just a bad weekend. That tied for 49th. He had a good first and second round, but boy, his weekend was just absolutely terrible. So maybe he's not cooling off. Maybe it was just a bad weekend. Unsure there. He also is going to be new to playing here at the TPC Sawgrass. I'll go ahead and say Morikawa. Look, in his last event, he did go ahead and win it, so he's got good form. And I trust Morikawa to adjust to a new course over Hovland. So give me Morikawa. Next we got here is Rahm versus Bryson. Look, for Rahm, his last tournament was the WGC where he got tied for 32nd. And before that, it was tied for 5th there at the Genesis. He's got one top 15 here at TPC Sawgrass, which was 12th in 2019. And that's in 3 events here at the Sawgrass. For Bryson, boy, maybe he's heating up. He won last week. The week before that, he was tied for 22nd, so he could be coming into his own. People are going to remember him from his monster bombs last week that he was hitting 370-plus yards over the lake. That was really cool to watch him just nail those bombs of a tee shot. As for how he's doing at Sawgrass, we got 20th in 2019 and 37th in 2018. I'm going to go ahead and say Bryson. Look, winner last week, so he's obviously heating up, obviously in good form, and I like him to come through again this week, so go ahead and give me Bryson. For the next one here, we got Patrick Reed versus Tyrell Hatton. For Reed, he was cut last week at Arnold, and he was tied for 9th at the WGC. In 7 Sawgrass events, he's got 2 top 25 finishes. For Hatton, tied for 21st at Arnold, tied for 22nd at WGC, so you can see he's a little bit more consistent there with his results. He was cut at the Sawgrass in 2018 and cut at 2019, but I'm going to rely on his current form. Look, Reed was cut last week, where at least Hatton, played it, got tied for 21st. He has struggled at this golf course, but I think maybe he's coming with better form. He can right the woes that he's had at this golf course, so give me Hatton right there. Next one we got here is Shoffley versus Cantley. Look, for Shoffley, he wasn't at the Arnold Invitational last week, tied for 39th at the WGC and tied for 15th at the Genesis. He was cut here in 2019 at Sawgrass, and he was second in 2018. For Cantley, he also skipped Arnold, but he also skipped the WGC. His last event was the Genesis, where he got tied for 15th. They both matched there at the Genesis, and he was third at the tournament before the Genesis. At Sawgrass, cut in 2019, just like Shoffley, a top 25 in 2018 and a top 25 in 2017. So similar form going into this and also similar results here at the TPC Sawgrass. I'll go ahead and say Cantley. Cantley will perform better over the week. All right, next we got here is Justin Thomas versus Webb Simpson. For Thomas, he was cut at the Genesis, his last tournament, tied for 15th at the WGC, and again, he didn't play at the Arnold Invitational. He had a third-place finish in 2016 here at Sawgrass. Otherwise, he's got 3 top 25s here at Sawgrass. For Simpson, tied for 6th at the WGC, his most recent event, and 11 events here at the TPC Sawgrass. He's got 1 win and 4 top 20s. I'll go ahead and rely on that consistency and history here at the Sawgrass. Give me Webb Simpson. For the next one here, we got is Fowler versus Day. Fowler was 72nd last week at the Arnold Invitational. At Sawgrass, first in 2015. But since then, he's been 2 cuts, a 60th, and a 47th place finish. So not having good results after he won it back in 2015. For Day, tied for 31st last week, so significantly better than Ricky Fowler there, and tied for 18th at the WGC. He got 8th in 2019 here and 5th in 2018 at Sawgrass. Go ahead and give me Jason Day, the better form coming into the tournament. And then he also likes this golf course better despite Fowler winning 2015. He's got significantly better results here at TPC Sawgrass. For the next matchup here is we got Finau versus Fitzpatrick. Finau did not play last week at the Arnold. He got 14th at the WGC and 2nd at the Genesis. And here at Sawgrass, he was 22nd place finish last year. For Fitzpatrick, tied for 10th, tied for 11th in his last 2 weeks. So really good consistency there, and 41st at the Sawgrass last week. I'll go ahead and say Finau, though. It seems like when he does suit up and play, he usually puts in a good result. So look for Tony Finau to have himself the better of the week. For the last matchup here is we got Spieth versus Scott. For Spieth, it was tied for 4th last week at Arnold, tied for 15th at the Genesis, so like that. At Sawgrass, he's been cut in 4 of his 6 tournaments here at the Sawgrass. In 2018, he did finish 41st. For Scott, tied for 54th at the WGC. He did not play Arnold Invitational last week. Here at Sawgrass, his last 2 events here at Sawgrass is a 12th and 11th place finish. So definitely the better history here at the TPC Sawgrass is Adam Scott. But I like Jordan Spieth's form coming into this. Tied for 4th last week, tied for 15th at the Genesis. Go ahead and give me Jordan Spieth. And then for my winner, who's going to go ahead and take home the championship here at the Players' Championship at the TPC Sawgrass, go ahead and give me Roy McIlroy at -12 is what it'll be. Look, good form, tied for 10th last week, tied for 6th at the WGC. He's got a win here. He's the de facto defending champion, given that they didn't play in 2020. So I like that. And then otherwise, when he's not winning, he's got 4 top 10s here at the TPC Sawgrass. So loves this golf course, fits his game perfectly. Like him to go ahead and be the winner this week. It's going to be Roy McIlroy at -12. All right, that's how we're doing it this week for a chance to win $50,000 at the Players' Championship at the TPC Sawgrass. Go ahead and hit that like button if I've been of help to you. And as always, I wish you good luck on your picks, and I'll see you on the next contest. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.